Hello all you model building enthusiasts out there. This will be another update on my 1/16 scale Kenworth W900 Aerodyne. It's been over a month and I just want to thank all my followers for being patient on this build. I know this is taking me quite a while to build, and on that note, it's also my first major modification build. This is only like really the very first one I've done to this extent. The only thing I've done before this, you've probably seen the video if any of you have looked, is the Corsair. So it's been a challenge, and I've had to go back and correct things and go back and correct things and go back and correct things. So you know, it's been time consuming, and I'm just going to get you all updated on what I have gotten done. So here we go. Anyway, I'm coming around to my chassis, and anyway, what I had to do on my chassis was I screwed up on the cover that I made for the frame. I actually used the floor wax rather than try to spray paint it with a gloss coat, and it basically turned yellow. So I tried wet sanding it out, it wouldn't come out, and I figured, you know what, it's probably going to have to be all sanded out. So I scrapped it, I took it off the frame, and it actually helped to make it come out even better because I used one piece, go all the way from where the sleeper will be to the very end. And I was actually able to lift my fifth wheel up a little bit higher. I used the other kit, and I put a little bit of plastic underneath the adjuster, and I moved the fifth wheel back about 1/4 of an inch just to hopefully give it a little bit more room from the sleeper, because I had the spoiler walls coming off the sleeper, and I was a little concerned about that, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that I did get another new air compressor. This one is actually an airbrush compressor, not like a small compressor that I got from a like the last two I got from a auto car parts store. I still use the one just for the other one just for blowing off parts and stuff like that. And as you can see, I corrected my back panels. With the new air compressor, I can get right down to 15 psi without a problem with the outclad chrome. Here, I didn't cover up this area well enough, and I left a little spot here that was unfortunately not supposed to get painted. I think it was the pink, and so rather than having to go back and repaint the whole thing, I just put a little piece of chrome tape here, and I'm debating on whether or not I want to put like a reverse light here, or maybe some air connections. I'm thinking more like air connections. I'm going to put probably, I've seen it before, but I've seen air connections on the very back of the truck and also up here, and I'm going to make a connection here going across. So that's what I did there, and I have to glue this down, and as you can see, I have a little bit of gap here. I might have to correct that somehow. Didn't come all the way up to the frame there. And I also wanted to show that I finally got the whole intercooler and turbo connected. This is a whole new piece here going into the turbo from the intercooler. Of course, everybody knows that I had done this earlier. I also took some duct tape, some real heating air conditioning duct tape, and I cut little strips, and I made little braces for my radiator, and I'm going to show you what I also did with those. So that's what I've gotten done on the chassis. Again, you know, I replaced the back piece over there. I got part of the exhaust in, and you know, I've been racking my brain trying to get this all hooked up. I didn't have a plan before I did. So I'm kind of winging it and trying to figure out how I'm going to get it all connected up. So far, so good on some of the things that I've done, which I'm going to go through with you. And over here, now this acetylene torch I wanted to show you because what I did here was these are 3/8 hollow aluminum piping, and as you can see I got one polished already. I'm going to have to repolish it. But I also took some solid aluminum 3/8 rod and basically I heated it up and I just bent it at a 90-degree angle. And I'm probably going to end up cutting these down to size. So that's what I did for that. So if anybody, you know, wants to know how to do that, oh, and they're just super glued here. And again, I'm going to take some of that duct tape. Now this is not your typical duct tape. This is the stuff that you get from a hardware store. You know, and this stuff is coming pretty handy. Let me see, I got some of it over here so you guys can see it. But, here it is right here. I've been using that for a lot of the chrome work. And so I come over here and I got my intake for my air cans all done. It's all chromed, all blacked, and again, that's all duct tape that you see there. The duct tape that I made little strips out of and made brackets for all the connections. And here's what I've done with the mounting areas for the pipes. Now I'm also going to have mounting areas on the frame, but on the cab I wanted to get spots so that way they'll be well mounted to the frame and to the body of the cab. And what I did was I just took your common finish nail, and they were about 64 thousandths of an inch wide, and I had a drill and I measured it. It was 62 thousandths of an inch wide, so I was actually able to kind of drive them in a little bit with a pair of wire cutters. And what I did to line them up is I actually used my mat, and I'll show you how I did this. I took my mat, I laid my cab down, and I put it straight on my mat, and then I took a ruler so that way I would make sure that these are all completely straight. You see I have a line there. I took the ruler and just put the ruler up against it so that way I would know if it was all completely straight. And I'm hoping that they do mount straight. But that's what I did for the nails. I'm pretty sure that, you know, once I get these on, and because of the angles I have. So all that's all super glued together. But that's how I did that. And I just tapped them in and basically, you know, lined them up until they lined up square with the mat on each side. And then I took some thin metal and used a drill that was 2 sizes smaller than a 3/8 and wrapped it around the drill a little bit, and then bent them and glued them up, super glued them onto the nails. So I have a little bit more of a better contact area with that. Also, my hood's just about done, and I put screen on the back side of my grill, and I put all the now this is also the duct tape, and what I did here was I didn't take the backing off of it. Instead I used contact spray glue, and I spray glued the back of that so that way that with the tape wouldn't look so wrinkled when I put it inside, you know, because I wanted a much cleaner look. And I knew if I tried to take the adhesive off, the backing off the adhesive tape, it would probably get all like wrinkled and pitted and messed up. So, and I also connected the sides with the top with a little strip here to hide it a little bit. And I was having a problem with it coming up, so I put a little bit here, you know, that was no backing, and a little bit here with no backing also in the front, so that way it would stay down. I have a string here that will keep the hood from coming, you know, all the way forward. I got the headlights in, and I got mud flaps on. I'm going to paint the grille when I'm ready to get this whole nose, not permanently on, because I'm going to show you what I did here. But yeah, that's going to be all alclad chromed. I have to mask it off and paint it while it's on the hood, which I felt was a better idea. So that way I won't have to handle it and get it all messed up. A lot of this alclad chrome, I'm not putting any clear on it, because after you put clear on it, it doesn't look like chrome anymore. It looks more like aluminum. I also have the panels that I wanted on it on the sides. Now I was going to put Kenworth symbols on it, but I felt it was a little overkill, so I'm just going to leave the mud flaps with the Kenworth on it. But anyway, to show you what I'm doing with the hood and why I didn't make it so that way it would be permanent, is I've actually put notches in these so I can actually take the hood and put it in and take it out. And the reason being is because I wanted to make sure that the cab butted right up against the hood, and these are still drying, so I can't show you right now what the hood looks like and what the cab looks like on the frame. But I'm pretty close. I'm pretty darn close. I'm like maybe a millimeter or two off before the cab comes right up to the back of the nose. So that's what I'll have to do here. I felt in the last video that I did, or the video prior to that, that I would have to actually move it up a little bit more, but I actually moved it back. And like I said, it's probably just going to have this. I'm going to have to trim it down now. Like I said, again, another millimeter or two. But that's what I've gotten done so far. And yeah, I know maybe I'll have the cab and the nose on, and the grill all chromed up, and the exhaust all attached. And once that's all done, I'll be able to move on to my sleeper. I still got to put the drive shafts on. I haven't done that yet. And as you can see, I haven't put the wheels on yet. So anyway, that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next time. Enjoy your builds. Bye for now.